Hey everyone, Bonnie here, and it's another installment of The Inner Temple of Witchcraft by Christopher Penchak. I am now on lesson 10, and lesson 10 was about being in your inner temple. Now he goes on to say that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 gates of consciousness within your inner temple: guidance, creativity, learning, memories, purpose, healing, peace, transformation, journey, ancestors, harmony, and dreams. And basically, your inner temple is your sacred space within yourself. Now, when I was being abused as a little kid, the way that I would handle my abuse, because it was my stepdad, and he would come in at night, and I would just kind of detach myself from what was happening to my body and go to a special place. And that special place was my garden cottage. It was a beautiful little house with a field of flowers, and I've always been connected to that place, even as an adult, when I needed to reset or detach myself from the situation. So the exercise for this lesson, it was just one, and it was visiting the inner temple. Now I'm just going to read to you my journal entry for it, because if I try and explain it, I'm just going to be jumping everywhere, and this is more cohesive. So this exercise is meant as a meditation of the temple within your mind. It starts at the world tree, and you find a passageway at the base. When you travel down it, you find a reflective surface where you see your true spiritual self. For me, I look like a broken doll. Half my face is missing, and that half is just an exposed skull. A lot like what Hel is depicted of, as Hel, the goddess Hel, in Norse mythology, where half my face is skull, half my face is flesh and bone. My skin looks leathery and kind of dirty, but there's a warmth in my eye. There's also love there, and that's important, but there's also a lot of pain. So when I look at myself, I see love, but I also see my pain. I find a pond in my temple and sink into it, clothes and all. I run my hands over my skin and cleanse any negative feelings, just washing away those thoughts. After doing this for a while, I get up and I sit in a field of flowers, smelling their scent. I listen to the breeze rustling leaves. I hear crackling like fire. I smell wood smoke and see the cottage of my childhood imaginings that I've visited throughout these past 3 decades. It's my home, and I feel so much love enter me. I step inside and see my father's mother and a young girl about 12 sitting in the kitchen area. My grandmother, Ida, is making rice, and the young girl is Sarah, the young spirit guide I met when I was 14. I asked if they have any messages for me. My grandmother says nothing, but Sarah says, I know in my heart what I should be doing. The only message she has for me is to keep fighting for myself, that I'm doing a great job, and that I'll come out on top. I thank them, hug my grandmother, who still says nothing, and walk back outside to the bed of flowers. I lay there for a moment and feel the earth energy heal me. I will be okay. And then afterward, I decided to leave the temple because I was getting a little emotional. I met my grandmother Ida once. I'm sure I met her before when I was a baby, but in my lifetime after leaving Puerto Rico, I only met her once. When I was visiting family there. Usually I visit my mother's side of the family because I'm not close with my dad's side. It's not anything against them. I just grew up in the States and they were in Puerto Rico, so this is before the internet and everything, so we didn't have any way of communicating with each other frequently without having a tremendous phone bill. So it was very emotional for me to see Ida, my grandmother, in that situation. She's never come to me before, so this was something new, but I felt love and connection. And according to my dad, because I asked about my grandmother, she was a fighter, she was a healer, and she loved us very much. She passed away a few years ago, which breaks my heart that I never could say goodbye. But I'm glad that I did at least meet her once, and that she saw me grown, for lack of a better term. She didn't even recognize me when I first came in. She's like, "Who's this?" And I'm like, "It's me, Grandma. It's Yvonne." And I don't know. I'm getting emotional right now. But yeah, it was visiting my inner temple, and I've done this a couple times this past few weeks to just sit and commune. I went through my passageway for healing, and in there it was like a dark black room, and I was surrounded by this golden pink, like rose gold color light, and I just sat in there, and it felt like it was pulsating, like vibrating through my body, and that was so cool. But yeah, it was just, it was intense. It was intense. I will say it was intense. Anyway, that is this month's lesson, which was lesson 10 for working in your inner temple. And I hope you guys have a bright day. Brightest blessings.